Welcome everyone to Haven of Horror. As always, I'm subject. We've got Robert and Norgo.
No, I thought you said Nort.
Norbit?
Yeah, Norbit. Noah Norbit. I don't know. But we're here to do a commentary on my pick for the 80s in our Decades of Horror series, The Burning.
Ooh.
Hey.
Robert's got his measly Blu-ray that probably looks like shit. I've got peak 4K.
It does.
Scream Factory goodness. How are you
Yeah,
watching
I just
this,
have.
Noah?
I'm going to be watching this on Prime.
Oh, you just rented it, or did you?
Yeah, it's streaming on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't have to rent it.
That's not that unusual.
As long as you don't have ads.
Well, I guess it's streaming with Amazon or with MGM Plus, because there's like a intro for that right at the beginning that I just got past, so we should be able to sync up
streaming
fine.
service.
Yeah, we love it.
So how's everybody doing?
Good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
And this will be my first time watching this movie.
I have watched this once, but I remember nothing about it. Other than that Jason Alexander is in this.
That's true.
Oh yeah, George Costanza.
So for any of you that don't know, we will be playing the Retro Realms arcade game after this. Noah, we'd love for you to stick around for a little bit if you want to see some 16-bit Evil Dead game. He's like...
I might. We'll see.
I'm trying to get it past all the menus and everything. Robert, are you excited to see 16-bit Evil Dead?
Absolutely. I love Evil Dead in every bit.
That doesn't sound right.
He loves them in 64 bits and 32 bits.
I wish we had a Nintendo 64 era Evil Dead game. Are you kidding me?
That would be so
what
cool.
about 1 bit? What would 1 bit?
1 bit. I'll just know the bits.
So, John, is this your first time watching this on 4K? Did you just stream this before?
Yeah, no, I just watched it on Shudder. This has been sitting on my shelf for like a month, 2 months.
Yeah, I just bought the Scream Factory Blu-ray because it was pretty cheap. And I've seen this before. Last time I watched it was probably on like Tubi or something.
Yeah, I got this in whatever the last big like sale they were having on their 4Ks was. It looks like they didn't change the artwork, which is nice because you never know with Scream Factory.
Yeah, so do the 4Ks generally not have the reversible covers?
Halloween does.
Okay, because most of the Blu-rays do. And I'll usually, I mean, sometimes they have some cool original artwork, but I'll usually flip them to just the regular poster. Those generally look better.
Yeah, so not a lot of their 4Ks, and I haven't bought any modern Blu-rays, but I feel like even those are hit and miss anymore. And I feel like with Halloween, they just did that because they knew that like new artwork would be polarizing.
Mm-hmm.
And that original poster is just too good.
Yeah.
Well, I say that. I believe the Child's Play movies did.
Cool. Yeah, I own several. Yeah, I own several Scream Factory Blu-rays, and they all have reversible covers. Which I think is pretty neat.
I'm talking about the 4Ks, Robert. That's what you asked about.
All right.
With Scream Factory releases.
Exactly.
Whatever it be, whatever medium.
Medium? What? They're all the same medium.
Are they?
What would you call DVD and Blu-ray a different medium?
Format,
whatever.
Medium is like movie to game. That's a different medium.
No, I think a medium's like using or something.
Sorry for not using the correct terminology, but you know what I was talking
should
about.
Be.
You know what I mean. I'm actually watching this on a VHS tape, by the way.
Oh,
on
cool.
a different medium. Yeah.
Anyway, is everybody at timestamp 0?
I am.
Yes, Robert,
Yes,
I
sir.
have the timer up. In
Okay,
3,
I'm gonna ask
2,
every time.
1, go. And that's fine. I just anticipated it this time.
Did you guys hear the MGM lion roar? Okay, I'll turn.
I don't know if it was from you or
Only faintly. It's fine.
Okay.
Noah's gonna get his copyrighted.
Oh no, this is a Friday ripoff. Set at a camp.
Which is a really fast. This is a really fast. Like, we're gonna rip off Friday the 13th.
Not necessarily. This is in development for a few years before it materializes. There is a lot of overlap with this and Friday the 13th.
They had to have been pissed though, right? When Friday the 13th comes out, and it's like that's their idea, but it's a huge success.
Yeah, for sure, because this did not do well. This was actually kind of a failure, but grew a cult following over time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had never heard of this until a few years ago, and I think it hit Shudder, and it kind of started to. I started to hear about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. I didn't start hearing about this movie until a couple years ago. You know, when people were talking about like underrated slasher movies.
Yeah, I actually don't really know anything about this movie, but I've seen the image of the like killer with the scissors,
The shears.
the shears. Yeah.
Noah
It's
just
the
doesn't
most
know any
iconic.
correct words tonight.
Oh, you know the big scissors that cut
It's
plants.
the scissorman.
The scissor man. By the way, I can't really believe this movie ripped off Us, Jordan Peele's Us as well, with scissors.
This movie would be better if everybody spoke in an us voice.
I agree.
Hello.
So 1981 is like the year of the glut of slasher movies. You know, you get a few in 1979, you know, like that post Halloween success. And then you get a bunch in 1980, including Friday the 13th, when this becomes a phenomenon. And then the majority of like these slasher movies come out in 1981. Like dozens of slasher movies come out just in 81. And then they kind of peter out by 83. Mm-hmm. And this movie, like I said, kind of a failure, though. Again, kind of blame the studio for it. This released a week after Friday the 13th Part 2. What were they thinking?
Of course.
With what a phenomenon that first movie was.
Yeah, so for
Yeah,
anybody wondering
they were
why
committing
Robert is saying
suicide.
this is a flop, so this was made for $1 million and a half, let's say, and it made 700,000 back.
Yeah, and then compared to Friday 2, which made like $20 million or something like that, you know. And I believe this went over budget. Like it wasn't supposed to be over $1 million. It just, this is one of those movies that just ends up going over budget as they're making it.
Yeah, this movie also costs about 300 million more than Friday.
Spooky
Okay,
fake out jump scare.
Yeah, so this guy's Cropsey. He's like the caretaker of this camp, and according to these teenagers, a big old jerk. He abuses them and is awful. So they're gonna play a prank on them. This is all through hearsay. This is all told to us when they see. You just gotta take their word for it that this guy is an awful person.
This would hold up in court.
What is it with these with things that we've been doing lately in pranks?
I was gonna say, this is kind of similar to that game.
Until Dawn, yeah.
Until
that
Dawn.
timing. That timing's kind of funny.
Game? I mean, maybe it's a different format, like a movie.
I thought it was a board game.
But yeah, no, there is some overlap with this and Until Dawn. I'd actually be a little surprised if that wasn't looking at this at all.
It's just
with the
prank
slasher.
can.
Yeah,
that's like burned into my brain. For context, Noah, at the beginning of the game, when you see the big prank, and the girl runs out of the house upset because she's just been like humiliated, the girl that you made me kill goes, "It's just a prank can."
They really say it's just a prank.
Yeah.
I guess that was before that. was going on the internet. Also, what a funny prank!
Yeah, it's just a skull with candles in it.
What's supposed to
Oh
be funny
no!
about this?
Are you sure this is a prank?
Yeah.
Well,
Are you
he
sure this
wasn't.
isn't just arson?
He was just supposed to be scared by the skull, and for some reason he knocks it onto his bed, freaking out, and then this happens.
Okay, what is that? What was his bed covered in? Gasoline?
We saw some
Gasoline.
gasoline on the floor that got
Oh,
tipped over. Again, I mean, his room was a total fire hazard. Like, this was bound
Yeah.
this is
By
actually
the way,
psychotic behavior.
to happen.
I'm pretty sure. I'm watching this on my 4K TV. I'm pretty sure it's the 4K version that's streaming. It looks really good.
Yeah, it does. I'm impressed. Uh, so Robert, have you ever played a prank that involved setting someone on fire?
Not that I recall.
At least that's what I heard.
Send someone to the emergency room prank gone wrong.
So the big elephant in the room we should discuss is this is
Do
one
we
of the
have
very
to?
first. We have to. You can't talk about this
Oh,
movie and not bring it up.
okay.
This is one of the
I don't know
first.
about this.
Oh, okay. So this is one of the first Miramax films. Obviously with MGM,
Yeah.
written and produced by Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
Oh, the Weinsteins wrote this too.
Yeah, Bob
Okay.
wrote it, and then Harvey had a story credit on it with a couple other guys, and also produced it. So this is the first big movie, and funny enough, it took a flop,
Yeah.
but
I
they
always
kept
just
going.
laugh at the story credits in these kind of movies. What was their contribution? Oh, the guy sets his bed on fire.
This is their biggest contribution.
Well, and the guy we just saw, who's now in the hospital, who's burned, his name's Cropsey. Yeah, Cropsey. They got that name from, at the time, like a New York urban legend of like this Cropsey killer who goes around and takes and makes people
So is
disappear at
this a
night.
mystery? Because this almost feels like too obvious of a red herring.
No. It's not a mystery. It's always very clear that it's Cropsey. There are a couple scenes that play it like a mystery, but no, it's Cropsey the whole time. This isn't really a whodunit. It's more of a origin.
Why
Like
done
we do get the why done it,
it? So we know
if
why.
you will.
Because they were thinking, oh, we'll make like the Burning 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call the end of this movie sequel baity. You could have done a sequel to this. But yeah, it's just one of those 1981 slashers that just got lost in the shuffle because there were so many that year.
Miramax production.
The Burning. We finally get to the opening credits.
Why do you guys think
Yeah,
it's called The Burning?
Gee, I don't know.
No, it's
He
so
drowned at the
sarcastic
beginning.
in that. It's like, I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I think it's because he ate spicy food at the beginning and then he
So
got
have
really
some
upset.
rum.
Yeah.
And effects by Tom Savini.
Which I feel like
he
is the big thing that elevates this movie.
Yes, for sure. There are some great kills in this. Some of his best work, and I think it's this movie and The Prowler are why he doesn't do Friday the 13th Part 2, because he's busy on these.
Prowler
But
is
then
later.
The Prowler might have been later, but this for sure. Like I said, this came out a week later.
Well,
so
and it's probably part of that, but just in interviews, like in that big documentary they did a few years ago, he always seemed like very against making a sequel to that first movie. So he might have just not been interested. Because he only comes back for 4 because it's Zito or ZD, whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah, and they work together on The Prowler. And this also feels again, with a lot of stuff we watched recently, I'd be surprised if the Terrifier movies weren't inspired by this, with that girl character who gets mutilated, put in the hospital, then released into society when they say, "Ah, we've done all
Probably
we
because
can,"
that's
and
such just a
doesn't
love
work.
letter to this era.
Mhm.
Which, I mean, not to be sappy, bad movies aside, kind of is one of my favorite eras in film. Like even the bad slashers, I think are just it's so cool they exist.
Mhm.
And Noah's always outraged that they exist.
They're morally objectionable films.
That's why I like them.
You gotta write strongly worded letters to the studio.
But I like that shot of the like porno shop. Who directed this? Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, this was written by the Weinsteins.
And frequent collaborators of Tarantino.
Oh, very true. Yes.
I one day would love to see the actual script of a slasher film. Probably like 2 pages
It's
long.
5 pages.
People get killed. The end.
Yeah, this is a movie that's hard to watch and not be reminded of other things. This scene is very weird and feels very out of place for the rest of it. Like this scene has like heavy giallo vibes. You know, we're in the city seedy. Yeah, he's going out with this prostitute. He's dressed in black. He's got a hat. He never dresses like this again in the movie. It feels really out of place. Not that it's bad, um, and I mean the movie goes to a lot of sleazy places.
Why is he gonna kill this random prostitute?
I don't know.
Like,
It's
you didn't burn him.
They found like the most aggressively like unattractive woman for this role too.
and honestly looks kind of authentic, I would guess.
No, it's like good casting. It's just strange how good casting it is.
Mhm.
This movie's going for realism, folks.
Yeah, like the scene is again gonna be kind of sleazy and mean spirited and brutal, which I mean is fine in a slasher movie. That's what you're here for. But that's where the Weinstein's name on it does taint it a little, because it's like, it's this cloud that's hanging over you while you're watching it.
I don't have that.
Maybe you'll feel that in some later scenes. Again, this isn't bad. It's just very tonally out of place with the rest of the movie. I think you could have cut this.
But
But I guess
Robert,
it's just
then it
establishing.
wouldn't be 90 minutes.
That's
Look,
true.
scissors.
Ugh.
Not shears.
Yeah, they get bigger as the movie gets going.
That looks really bad.
He makes them grow.
This is not Savini's best kill.
No.
It looked like he just poked a plastic belly with scissors. Yeah, no, I mean, that is a very weird scene, but it's like...
Even the first Friday movie had some better kills than that.
I feel like you have to actively be thinking about who made this movie to be upset to have like hanging over it. And I'm not thinking about that.
I'm not even upset.
Well, it is, I mean, it is a bit of a distraction when the opening credits say produced by Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, even by the time you get to that kill, I'm not thinking about that.
Okay.
I'm thinking about it. I'm not saying
you have to.
Oh, it's George.
Yeah.
There he is.
I think it's the only time I have seen him not bald.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen him with more hair. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about who made this movie right now.
Were you also thinking about doing the slow-mo shot of the braless girl running?
Yeah. Well, to be fair to what John is also saying, like, it is kind of what you expect with the genre, too.
And also, like, unless they were holding the camera or directing the camera, you can't place it all on them.
No, but they did write it.
I'm trying to remember the name of... There's one movie I know Harvey Weinstein directed that I remember hearing about that I've seen clips from that looks really, like, sex perverty, so...
And there's a lot of sex perverty stuff in this movie. Which again, I want to say
That's why
doesn't
you
ruin
like
it
it.
for me.
We know that.
I'm not opposed to a movie with sleazy stuff. Like I don't dislike this movie. Like there's a lot of good stuff in it.
Okay, now they're shears. Upgrades.
It's also one of those 80s camp movies where I have no idea what the age range for, like, because the amount of kids you see later is insane. Some look
Yeah.
12, others look 30.
This girl right
It's all
here
over the-
looking for the ball looks like she's like 15. And then the person it just cut to before looks like she's in her 30s.
Yeah, then you have people like Jason Alexander, who's playing one of the teenagers. He's like the same guy as the actor you'll see later who plays the counselor. Like
He's
I
the
can't
same
tell
guy.
how old any. No, I'm sorry, the same age. It like said
I
the
don't know. Now I'm gonna
ages
be watching for it.
12.
There better be 2 Jason Alexanders in this movie.
I wouldn't mind that. He's probably my favorite character in this.
Is that because he's the only real actor in this movie?
That is incorrect. Holly Hunter has a very, very minor role in this.
Oh.
Oh.
This is one of her first movies. I'll try to point her out when we see her. I don't think she has any dialogue. She's just in the background.
So this movie has 2 real actors,
Yeah.
one of which has no lines.
One of them doesn't count if they don't have lines.
I actually think most of the acting in this pretty good. I've seen a lot of slashers from this era, and I've seen much worse acting than this.
No, that just looks like an adult. I don't know if this is supposed to be a teenager.
It's
Well, I mean, it kind of looks like they're maybe the counselors, but it's hard to tell.
yeah, the blonder lady is the counselor, and the girl she's talking to is supposed to be a teenager, but they look the same age to me.
He looks like Carrie Fisher, kind
She
of.
kind of does. I got more of a Margot Kidder vibe.
Kind of like a cross
Speaking
between
of that,
Margot
I finally
Kidder and
watched
Carrie
the original
Fisher.
Amityville Horror. It was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, I still haven't gotten to
Ah, who directed this? Tarantino?
that one.
Sorry, I got that joke out of the way.
I already made that joke.
Oh, crap. When did you make that joke?
I was like, "Oh, I like that shot of the porn shop. Who directed this? Tarantino."
Yeah, but this was very
that
Tarantino
was a
specific.
close up on feet, so I was like, oh.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I already made the Tarantino joke.
I'm sorry, John.
You fucking bastard.
This is where I get fired.
No, I'm gonna fire Robert instead.
Oh.
I'll accept that.
And then we'll have tryouts.
So, did either of you go to any summer camps growing up?
No, I am not the outdoorsy type. I believe it by like the '90s, though. That wasn't as big a thing.
I went to a few different ones growing up. The ones I went to always had more adult supervision than what you see in these movies.
I mean, that's not fair. In the Friday movies, it's all adult supervision. There are no children at that camp.
That's correct.
I went to some camps, but none that I like stayed at. So it was just like
we
stuff
all know
during the day.
You went to a camp.
Oh no,
a summer camp, right? Yes.
Also,
Hey,
the ones I went
Psycho?
to didn't have outdoor stuff.
I do remember Psycho. At least the soundtrack isn't ripping off the music, the Bernard Herrmann music, like Friday One does.
What's that movie where the soundtrack is just the Psycho soundtrack?
Friday the 13th.
No, Reanimator is literally the Psycho theme. Friday the 13th one's a little different.
Well, you gotta remember, Noah's only read the Wikipedia page. He hasn't heard the soundtrack.
That's true.
I can read the Wikipedia page and hear the soundtrack through the words. Okay, something
And we're
happened,
going
please.
and we're going.
Something happened, please. I don't want to watch this for a long time.
No, why are you protesting at seeing a naked woman?
Yeah, you're a
I'm
prude or something.
protesting watching a naked woman shower for like 30 minutes.
I'm more shocked that they were just able to get away with this. Some of this.
I mean, this was the era for that.
Yeah, but I mean, this is also the era of the MPA really cracking down on these kind of movies.
Yeah, that doesn't really kick in until like 83 ish. And Friday the 13th is getting more of the attention than this.
I think
Yeah,
that
those
starts to
fucking
happen because
bastards.
of. I would assume that starts to happen because of movies like this, right?
Mm. But we've talked about this before, though. There are tons of 80s horror movies that are so gory and so much more gratuitous than anything you see in any Friday the 13th movie. They just kind of went under the radar and came out
Yeah,
because Friday the 13th was getting all the attention
that's
I
yeah.
mean,
They
I've
only
and
always
hatred
said
from the
that.
NBA.
I've always said
because
that
of,
the biggest hypocrisy of the MPAA is they were fine with the elevator of blood scene in The Shining, but somebody
Yep.
getting
Yeah.
stabbed is too far.
Yep.
no, it's
That's
just
right.
because that was the most high profile of all these at the time.
Yeah, exactly. See, this guy wasn't being a pervert. He was just trying to scare her. It's just a prank.
Everybody's such a good prankster in this movie.
It's just a prank can. Noah's gonna be miserable by the end of this movie.
I'm miserable already. No, it's all right so far.
He's gonna be like,
Yeah.
half a star, nothing happened. Oh, sorry,
But
he doesn't do the stars anymore because he's lazy.
oh,
That's right.
I do like our lead counselors here. I think they're pretty likable.
He just pinched her nose like she was 12.
It was the 80s. You just did stuff like
I mean,
that.
so we're not that far into the movie, but already I feel like there's a little bit more happening than the first Friday.
That's probably correct. And like I said, I do like this counselor guy who gives this kid, this 30-year-old kid, a hard time and is like, "Look, you
Dang, I
fucked up."
just wanted to scare her.
Yeah, but I think the counselor's pretty reasonable here, where it's like, all right, cut that shit out. We'll keep an eye on you, but you know,
You know,
you get a pass.
obviously the main inspiration is Friday the 13th, but Fear Street Part 2 has to be looking at this.
Oh, certainly. And this is at least now considered kind of the quintessential like camp summer horror movie, and that, as you mentioned earlier, most of the Friday movies aren't actually camp movies because all the counselors die before the kids show up. It's not even like a real camp until you get to part 6
Yeah.
when there's actual children there. But this movies like this and Sleepaway Camp really take advantage of the setting and like that
I
type
gotta
of
rewatch
coming
that.
of age experience.
We love the 80s, folks.
Oh no, this 14-year-old Robin Williams looking girl is smoking.
She does look like Robin Williams. That's gonna distract me for the rest of the movie.
And how old is she? I don't know. Like,
It's 12-year-old Robin Williams.
oh, and here's our Stephen King bully guy. Glazer.
Glazer.
Why
He's
does
like,
he
I
look
hate
like Sebastian
pranksters.
Stan with like a New York accent?
This is actually Sebastian Stan's first role before he played Trump recently.
Okay, so this guy is Larry Joshua, and when I found out what else he's been in, it blew my mind. It made me so happy. I'll give you a hint. What else you guys have seen this actor in?
Okay.
The fight was 3 minutes. You were supposed to beat him in 2.
Wait, that's the fight guy? That's awesome.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
He look
That's
not only does he
incredible.
look like Sebastian Stan, he's bad at math. Half of the cast on here doesn't have Wikipedia pages.
Well, of course. This is probably the only movie most of them were in.
Um,
No, there's a few who went on to do some bigger stuff.
Eddie went on to
I
be in Law and Order.
Yeah, and then Fisher Stevens is in this, who I don't know that well, but he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a character actor. I've seen him in a few things. I like that guy.
Yeah, he might be. I think he's the skinny guy in this group, but he's just not someone I know that well. And Jason
So
Alexander,
the
obviously.
one girl that we can't decide how old she is, that kind of looks like Carrie Fisher. She has 2 acting credits to her name.
Oh,
This and a little sex the next year where she was a bathing suit model.
Of course.
And then she retired.
So I think Fisher Stevens is the guy in the gray shirt there.
Oh, John Glover's in that movie.
oh, that is so weird seeing him this young, because I've seen him in Succession where he's much older and kind of balding.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, and he's like really young here. That's really weird seeing that.
I wonder what Jason Alexander's been doing lately. I haven't seen him in anything in a minute.
I just
Me
know that
neither.
he has a podcast, which I haven't listened to.
Of course he does.
I mean, everybody.
Because
Has
everybody's
podcasts.
got a podcast.
If
Every
this
actor
guy,
that can't get work is like, oh, I'll just do a podcast.
hey,
Talk
if
about how I was
Glazer,
George Costanza.
if Glazer's Spider-Man guy had a podcast, I would listen to it. I want to know
With
this
Jason
guy's story.
Alexander and Fisher Stevens.
It's just a prank, bro. I just almost made him drown.
Oh, apparently he's in that new History of the World Part 2 like miniseries.
Oh,
Oh,
that
was
might be
bad?
decent, but I avoided that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. I didn't hear.
The trailer
that
did
was
not look
good.
good.
I didn't know it came out. Apparently Mel Brooks
Yeah,
is
that came and
involved.
went. Mhm.
Still got to see the first one.
First one's pretty good. It's not my
Part 2.
favorite.
First one's not one of my favorite Mel Brooks movies. That's part of why I wasn't really interested in the sequel. I'm not even really interested in Spaceballs 2, to be completely honest.
No.
Can't bring myself to care
Good
about a
movie, though.
Star Wars parody when Star Wars is the parody right now.
Yeah.
I don't even like the first one that much. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, my favorites are Young Frankenstein and Blazing Saddles. Those are the
Blazing
top 2.
Saddles
Young
is peak.
Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, and The Producers are my favorites.
Oh my god, he's got a gun.
Holy shit.
It's just a prank.
I'm gonna shoot those girls. It's just a prank.
He's already kind of doing the George thing.
George Costanza, yeah.
And I don't know that show that well. I haven't seen much of it, but you can already tell he's got a lot of charisma. I like him a lot.
See too much of George, and
I haven't seen a lot of that show. Funnily enough, I think the thing I've seen him the most in as a kid, I watched Dunstan Checks In a lot.
okay, yeah.
But he is kind of
This
one
is
of those
actually
actors
George's
that just
origin story.
has the one shtick, and like everything I've seen him, and he's just doing that.
Oh no, I didn't need to see that.
At least there's equal opportunity nudity in this movie.
I have absolutely no idea what's happening. Like,
It's just camp, just smoking, just all the normal camp activities.
So, John, you're saying you're
so
going to give this half a star and say that nothing happened?
we'll see. So that guy that was, I just wanted to scare her. I was thinking about it and I couldn't place it. That's totally just like prototype Shelly from Friday 3.
Yes, and I wanted to mention that because weirdly enough, I feel like Shelly is that type of character, but done better.
We'll
Because
see, because I
hate
also find
Shelley.
Shelly really annoying.
Yeah, I hate
he is
Shelley.
very annoying. No, I'm not sure if I hate how much I love him or if I love how much I hate him. It's one of those.
The
I
only
will
thing
say though, the thing I will give Shelly is I kind of feel bad for him, which is like a task considering how fucking annoying he is.
I don't feel bad for him.
But Noah, Friday the 13th Part 3 has the most layered characters.
Oh, it does it?
I'll explain later.
Yeah, so Jason Alexander's character, he just sells like porn and condoms to his fellow campmates. This wasn't a thing when I went to camp, but it was the 80s.
You just didn't go to the right camp.
That's probably true.
You also might not have been old enough.
I don't know how old these people must have
Well, you got to be in that general 15 to 35 range.
I mean, George looks like he's in his mid-20s here.
Yeah, he was.
Oh no. It's a burnt man.
I wish the rest of this movie was just that Twilight Zone Nightmare at 20,000 feet episode. It's like, I see a guy in the window.
There was a man outside.
I thought you were going to say Twilight Zone Nightmare on Elm Street. I was like, what?
Nah. John, you gotta watch more Twilight Zone.
I do.
Dove.
So, John, you said you've seen this once before. Do you remember if it made an impression, if you liked it? But you bought it on 4K.
It was on sale. It's like, this is an excuse to rewatch it. I'm
It's
not even
okay
sure I
so
finished
far.
it because I pulled it up on Letterboxd and I didn't log it. I normally log stuff.
You probably forgot. That's so little an impression it made on you.
That's possible.
Do you think Coke and Sprite sponsored them for that
Yeah.
product placement, or do you think they just...
I mean, this is also the
Yeah.
era where Coke put cocaine in their product. I don't think they gave a shit.
Yeah. And look, there are hundreds of kids here, some of which look 12. What is the age range of this camp?
Is this why they went over budget? Because how many fucking extras they have?
Yeah.
We need more kids.
Whoa, I don't think you can say that.
Oh no.
It's okay. I'm quoting Harvey Weinstein.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, you're gonna get us sued for slander.
He's
Yeah.
in jail. Who cares?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But so these guys are just hitting on these girls, and the counselor's just sitting there like, yeah, that's fine.
The one next to him looks like she's 13. The blonde looks like she's 20.
Well, I think the blonde is the counselor.
Oh my god.
You know who this guy reminds me of, Robert? Just to tie it to Friday the 13th, Part 5, the chocolate bar guy, not the chocolate bar guy, the axe guy.
Yeah.
Vic was really out of line.
He was. That bastard. I mean, when you think about it, he got like 20 people killed.
Well, what matters is that Roy killed everybody except for the guy who killed his son.
What I love about part 5 is it has the exact same problem as part 1. There's no mystery because there's no possible way for you to guess who it is. Oh, it's this ambulance driver that you saw 2 minutes into the movie and then never again.
You see him one other time.
No.
Yeah, you do.
He shows up twice.
There's a scene later where he looks all suspicious. He's like, "Oh, it's a shame that happened to that kid." Something
He's
like
like,
that.
"Were you
No,
talking
it's
to me,
like,
Sheriff?"
oh, he's the. Oh, no, it's like, oh, he's the killer.
Hey, look, an
Yeah.
adult that I'm confident isn't playing a teenager.
No, he's actually the head camper. I don't know if you knew that. He got held back a lot.
So, Noah, you said that this is a Succession guy.
Yeah.
That this is his origin story.
Oh, okay. So he makes it out alive.
I did maybe.
Maybe.
So I will say I'm digging this movie just on a vibe level. But I
Mhm.
need someone to die. Like we need to get some kills.
And
Put
that's
that
why I
quote-
wonder.
Put that quote on the box. I need someone to die already.
That's why, to me, the scene with the prostitute like feels like it was maybe a reshoot or added later. Like,
Probably.
look, we needed another kill early in this movie because this does take its
Yeah.
time with the build up.
Because
And
otherwise,
you
that
have
scene
that a
doesn't
lot of
make any
those Friday
sense.
sequels. Like there's entire sequences that are just there because the studio's like, we need more kills, which will never not make me laugh because that was the same studio's also like, we're so embarrassed that we're putting these out. No, put more
Yeah.
kills into it.
It was this brutal push and pull of give us more kills, and then the MPAA saying "fuck you, take out the kills."
Noah, that would be a better tagline than it once it's on the actual poster. Which is hold it up there for a second. Can you read that, or do
Yeah.
you need me to read it?
Not really.
And Robert, tell me if this is on yours. A Legend of Terror is no campfire story anymore.
Yep, that's.
Oh, that sucks.
It's goofy. It at least makes sense in context.
Okay, but Robert, no, nothing will ever be better than the Pieces tagline.
Well, that's just the greatest tagline in cinematic history. It's exactly what you think it is.
Have you seen that movie yet?
Oh, I love Pieces. It's one of my favorites.
Guys,
I
we
saw
have
that
to
as
do
a
a
teenager,
commentary
and I
on
was
Pieces.
like, "Whoa!"
We have to do a commentary on Pieces sometime.
Yeah, and I made Noah watch it for one of the Shutter Shuffles because that was a movie. So there's 2 movies that I watched as a teenager that like blew my mind, but then I stopped hearing about them. So part of me was like, did I just like make those up? And it was Pieces, and there's a movie called Bloodsucking Freaks, and I found both of them on Shutter as an adult. I don't know if I can get through Bloodsucking Freaks again, but I want to try.
Pieces is a movie I never even heard of until like a couple years ago. I probably watched it around when I watched this because last year I was trying to catch up on some older slasher movies I hadn't seen before. So I watched this. Pieces was also probably on Tubi or something. But yeah, I love Pieces. Though that movie, in terms of sleaze and gore, like that movie's just at an 11 the entire time. And
I really enjoyed
You
that
don't need
movie.
to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre.
That's just correct.
No, so that is a movie my dad found. He knew about it. He must have just seen it like back in the day. But he found it at a half price books. He's like, you got to watch this. So he bought it, and I was like, well, I'll borrow this and watch it. And then I watched it, and I was like, I don't know what I just watched, but it was awesome.
Yeah. It was exactly what I thought it would be.
Yeah. And then I made Noah watch it, and I don't know if he's ever forgiven me, but
No, I enjoyed it.
movie.
Yeah.
That one guy looks like he's losing it. So do you think this scene? So do you think that The Social Network also ripped off this movie for this scene?
Of course,
because there's a scene of people rowing.
Yeah, No, don't you remember there's that scene of them kayaking? It's the 2 brothers.
I remember that. Yeah, it's just
That was
Two
some
brothers.
nothing like that scene.
I love that I had to joke because jokes are always funnier when I have to explain them.
No, I know what scene you were talking about. It's just nothing like the scene.
These kids are having fun. They're having a fun time.
That is a great movie too.
The Social Network is a good horror movie.
Yeah. No, it's funny because I almost didn't watch that movie because I was like, oh, it's a stupid like biopic. I don't care. And then
Yeah,
Trent Reznor got announced to do the score. I was like, well, now I'm curious.
yeah. No, that's a movie I've had to convince people to watch because it seems really boring on the surface. But I'm like, no, it's really good.
And
Well, it was
again,
funny. Oh, sorry. Good.
so again, this comes out a week after Friday the 13th Part 2, and
Oh,
we're at
God.
the Friday the 13th Part 2
Ah,
campfire
here we
scene.
go. Yeah.
This is probably better than the campfire scene of Friday too.
Probably. I actually like this
Are
scene
you
a
talking
lot.
about the
So,
Are you talking about the campfire scene in the middle, or that like bullshit recap at the beginning?
no, the one in the middle. I think
Oh
they
no! Wait!
recap
No,
it.
sorry.
Four does the
Two's
recap.
Two's recap is the nightmare from Alice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the four recap in four, which drives me insane because it's a bunch of characters describing things that happened after they died.
But no, I like the scene. He's telling the legend of Cropsey and how he was burned and had these garden shears.
How much time has passed from the like that prologue?
Like 40 minutes. Oh, like you mean like in the
In the
story?
movie.
It's 5 years later.
We are 40 minutes into
Ah, it's been 40 minutes since he was burned alive. Now he's an urban
Yeah.
legend.
I didn't understand the question you were asking.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
You speak it.
We're gonna have so many shorts to post.
So much content.
Because Noah, I think I told you, but
Oh, there's
I
Holly
started-
Hunter.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
she's
there
a
she
girl.
is. Yeah, you started doing shorts from Twitch clips, John.
Yeah, I started restreaming to Twitch again so I can make short clips, and Twitch has an auto upload, so it
That's
does everything
useful.
for me. That's how
Yeah,
500 people saw you defend a Confederate soldier.
Well, you can look at that clip again to see that words were being put in my mouth.
Congratulations,
that's
you guys
physically
are on
possible.
TikTok.
Oh, well, there you go. I don't even have a TikTok account, but I'm on TikTok.
Don't
How does
look,
it
he'll
feel?
see you.
Did anybody else see the black glove behind her?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
something scary's about to happen. So it is just like that Friday 2 scene.
Yes, it's the same scene.
But nothing will beat the scene in 1 where the guy has like the Indian headgear on and shoots a bow and arrow at somebody.
He almost fucking killed her. Why did he do that? So, John, do you think the garden shears fit Cropsey's theme? Do you think there's a consistent theme with this slasher killer?
I'm just saying, so far this feels like it's made by committee.
No one's gonna get that.
That's fine. It's an inside joke.
Inside joke. I mean, it doesn't really fit his origin. You'd think he'd use like a flamethrower or something.
Bro, that would be fucking wild. Just imagine like an 80s slasher.
With a
Teenagers are walking through
flamethrower.
the woods, suddenly have flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Nobody would survive.
No, I feel
That's
that has to be a weapon for a different slasher, right? The flamethrower. That's been used before.
we get one in the Silent Night remake.
I
There's
feel
a
like
good.
usually if there's a flamethrower involved, the final girl or somebody's using it against the killer.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So it's not a flamethrower, but there is that scene in Seed of Chucky where he uses the hairspray and the lighter and sets that blonde on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So sort of. That's basically a flamethrower.
We'll say it counts.
And this guy's like, "Come on, you don't
Why
need
does she get on
swimsuit."
her like tippy toes to say maybe?
I don't know. And again, I don't know how much the movie wants me to like this guy.
I'm a little torn because I think these characters are a little bit more likable and charismatic than in the ones in the first few Friday movies. Because in those movies they're just planks of wood.
And the first and third one, I'll give you that. But 2 and 4 have better characters than this.
Yes.
4 has Crispin Glover, and that's it.
Right.
4
That's
has
it.
Fred, Ted's cool too. I like Ted. I like Corkscrew Ted.
Hey Ted, where's Corkscrew?
Hey Ted, where the hell's the corkscrew? Fuck you. Ted comes up with the best line in that movie. You dead fuck.
The dead fuck. But it's only the best line in the movie because of how Crispin Glover says it.
That movie also has the twins. They had a lot of personality.
Who cares?
In depth.
Oh yeah.
And it has Tommy Jarvis.
It does have Tommy Jarvis.
Yeah.
And his sister. And his mom that makes that 12-year-old work on their car.
Oh god, he just said, "Don't fight it, don't fight it." This scene is uncomfortable.
Oh, this was written by the Weinsteins.
Also, we can't forget the "he's killing me, he's killing me."
Oh yeah, that scene's just iconic. I would rather talk about anything else than what is happening right now.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say. Like, they're not even. It's nudity, but like not even. It's not showing anything. There's nothing happening. It's just watching two people.
No, you just told her to fuck off. Well, he just told her to fuck off. He's like, "Why did you even come out here then?" Like, she came out here to swim. You talked her into swimming.
I'm sorry, but
swimming.
That pout that he had on his face right after he told her to fuck off was hilarious.
Again, I don't know how much the movie wants me to like him.
Just sent in a letter. Hello.
Oh, hello.
And this is why you don't go skinny dipping, because somebody will take your clothes. I have learned this from many
Friday
movies.
Part 2.
I thought you
There's a lot of
I've learned this from personal experience. Like, whoa, that's a little more than I need to know. Until Dawn.
Yep. Like I said, I'd be surprised if Until Dawn wasn't.
Somehow this was still a shorter swimming scene than Sam's bath in that game.
Yeah, well, that was a 6-hour ordeal, sir.
Yeah, so no, you missed it because the set when they get to the cabin, the first thing Hayden Panettiere's character does is to go take a bath, and then she just disappears for like 6 hours of the game. And when you finally get back to her, she's still in the fucking bathtub. So it just kind of looks like she took like a 6-hour bath.
Damn. She probably needed it. The stress she's gone through.
Okay, Cropsey, it's time to kill that shitty guy.
Cropsey sounds like a PS1 platformer mascot.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the name of this.
Yeah, well, it was a real urban legend. You know, I get why they used it.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's funny too because like even with Friday the 13th, when they're trying to figure out Jason's name, like we almost got like Kevin Voorhees
for Jonathan. Yeah. Oh no, not her, Cropsey.
No. Killed the creep.
Yeah, she didn't deserve this.
They all deserved it.
Yeah, so obvious. Oh, go on.
Yeah, no. Earlier, I was gonna say, just like even if the characters are a little bit more likable, I think this movie still suffers from just kind of having too slow of build up to all the kills. Like
Yeah.
nothing's happened so far.
At least the cinematography is nice. I do like the look
Yeah.
of this movie.
It is, yeah.
This is a better shot movie than at least Friday 1.
It's just got pacing issues.
Yeah, but now it's started to kick in because now we have a missing girl and a suspect.
Yeah, we also have like 20 minutes left.
But in another version of this movie, though, you would have played it more like a whodunit, like, oh, maybe this guy did it. You know, he's the last one to see her. You know, but this isn't really going for
some sort of interrogation here. What are you
that.
showing me?
Come on.
I say what you will, but this is still less racist than the first Friday the 13th movie.
That's
Of
technically
course.
true.
Why is this guy like a stereotypical New York mobster? Come here.
I don't know, but I like his performance. And I will say though, again, because part of the controversy of these slasher movies was, oh, these are anti-sex. It's always the virginal girl who lives, and the movie punishes teenagers for having sex. Like that really breaks down when you actually watch these movies. Like, so this girl said no and ultimately rejected him, goes away, and then gets killed. Like, what am I supposed to do with the slasher movies hate teenagers that have sex?
I have that with most of those like popular horror stereotypes. Like that, or the black guy always dies first. Like, I've seen a lot of horror
which
movies
rarely happens.
That rarely happens.
Mm-hmm.
How one of the survivors of Part 5 is a black kid.
That's true. And like we said in like Friday Part 2, you know, like the main girl in that, like we see her smoke weed and she's dating her boss. Like, how does she fit that box?
Yeah, I don't know
How do you think
where the virgin thing comes from, because even Scream runs with that. And of course,
how do you think stuff like that gets into
Nightmare on Elm Street's usually the go-to for that, which is funny because that doesn't come out until 1984. Like, it didn't start these trends.
Well, I mean, I guess it would be Halloween, right? Because Laurie is the...
Yes, Halloween's the other go-to. Mm-hmm.
Well, but it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was just thinking, because Scream runs with that, the virgin trope. And that's the version is she does have sex. But now, when you think about it, it's like, oh, welcome to the club. Like, there's all these other...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that box doesn't apply to most final girls. But and also I like this setup a lot because we don't just have a missing girl. Also, now the canoes are missing, so they're stranded here, and so now the stakes are a bit higher. In like, oh
Not
shit,
the canoe.
like,
I don't regret buying this so far, though. Like this, even with poor
we
pacing,
haven't gotten to the best scene yet.
And even with poor pacing, the nice things about these movies is that are so short.
Yes,
I never feel like I'm having my time wasted.
Yeah.
Well,
whenever Jason Alexander's on screen, I have a good time.
I mean, yeah, what the hell happened to the canoes? How did nobody notice?
Nah, they disappeared during the night.
Oh god, not a raft. Wait, so they canoed to this camp?
There's no road near it anywhere?
Well, he said like, no, it's like miles and miles of hiking. So it's like a day hike to get back to where they were.
Okay, but then how did they get here?
They used the canoes.
So the answer to my question would have been yes, they canoed here.
I didn't know what your question was, or you worded it weird.
Oh, maybe I worded it weird. That is a possibility. But I thought I asked.
I think
in my head,
your
I
question
asked, did they canoe here?
But I think your question also maybe implied that canoeing to this location was the only way to travel there.
Yeah.
They canoe now?
They canoe now.
I
Yeah, at
say
least they.
canoe enough times in a row. It starts to sound funny.
Canoe, canoe. Nanu, nanu.
Yeah, at least they're getting that raft built pretty fast.
I've seen Creep Show too. I know where this is going.
Also, how come the killer vision has like Vaseline rubbed all over the lens?
Because they rub
Gasoline.
Vaseline on the lens.
Vaseline.
So one thing
How
I think a
come-
lot of these smaller slashers do get wrong, and why this trend died so quickly, is none of these killers have any presence.
Yeah, and this is doing the POV thing a lot, even though we've already kind of seen him. We already know who the killer is, so some of
Like I
this is kind of
said,
repetitive.
the
And this
ones
guy,
that really survive are the ones where the killer has a presence of some kind. Jason, Michael, Chucky, Freddy.
yeah, dude, stop staring.
Why is Henry Winkler peeping on them?
And no, but the jerk bully guy though, like he's very. I was gonna say he's very Trent from Friday the 13th remake, but Trent's probably more likable than this.
Oh, I don't know about that. Well, he does have like one of the greatest like lines in all of cinema.
He does, and to his credit, I don't remember Trent ever forcing himself on a girl, and this guy does that a lot.
No,
in
but
this
he is openly cheating on his girlfriend in front of her.
movie, which is arguably bad.
Which I also
I'm not
don't know if the movie just doesn't remember that they're dating by that point because nobody seems to care.
But the game plan now, though, is they just built this raft for just a few of the teenagers to go and get help and bring back more canoes at like the
This
main
is a
camp.
gorgeous shot.
Mhm.
Somebody who's watched Friday the 13th went, we can do that.
I love how they picked like the scrawniest looking kids too. Like, I don't know, maybe send Jason Alexander and some of the stronger looking ones on this expedition.
Jason Alexander was like, nah, I don't want to go.
Fisher Stevens is really struggling here.
They got the
I
New
have
York guy with them,
expected
too.
somebody like somehow for this just to catch on fire with them all on it. And that would just like decrease this cast you have to worry about dramatically. You're not even using a real paddle.
Yeah, that they look like they've gone nowhere.
When they go to that canoe, is a little zombie kid gonna pop out of the water and scare him?
Oh, I wish.
I mean, that would be better. That's the best, like one of the best jump scares in cinematic history.
It is.
It should
Top
have
5.
been the final scene.
I agree.
of
I've
that
always
movie.
felt that. It's at least better than the Nightmare on Elm Street ending, just because I don't know what's happening at the end of that movie.
And it's not
I've
a
always
blow-up
said that.
doll.
I've always said that Nightmare on Elm Street is a great movie with a shitty ending, and Friday the 13th is a shitty movie with a great ending.
It's not a shitty movie. It's
It is a
It's
shitty movie.
I'd call it a mediocre movie with great moments.
that last 20 minutes it elevates it beyond shitty.
I agree.
Meh.
Meh.
Oh shit, what's gonna happen?
It's just get in the canoe.
They're really building up to this canoe. Oh no!
Oh, it's the shot.
Oh,
Oh no!
I am a little disappointed. This was a shot. Oh, damn.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Jesus.
All right, we were building to all of this. Jesus.
Oh, shit.
They
I
let
figured
Tom
they would
Savini
die
cook.
just to like cut down on the cast, the crew or cast. But they missed a chance to live up to the title and have him just burn the damn thing with them on it.
Nah, I think this is better.
That's why
The-
his signature weapon, should be a flamethrower. If it's all about burning.
The
But-
only thing that was kind of funny about that is you can tell that the shot of him lifting it up was just reused.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not a complaint.
No, but like I said, Fisher Stevens may have survived that. We just saw him got his fingers chopped off.
Yeah, he's gonna come back with like finger guns.
Yeah. No, I think that scene's great. Way
So
more
who's ready
hardcore.
for 2023, 2025, The Burning 2? Jason Alexander will come back.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
He's a gritty old man that's hardened by his experiences 40 years ago.
It's a movie about trauma.
That's what's so. No, it's a movie about Black Lives Matter.
But no, like I said, I think there's a lot of good Tom Savini work in that scene. Like when the shears go across the girl's
Yeah.
forehead, it's like, oh.
No, that's really good. As someone who cut his lip once with a pair of shears and like it hurt like a bitch, anything
Oh,
worse than
man.
that just makes me cringe.
Yeah.
It'll be The Burning Kills. Evil burns tonight.
No,
You'll burn.
no, it should be The Burning Burns.
Oh no.
Everything burns.
Gasoline.
Gasoline. I'm only
Oh,
the
God.
burning my half.
Oh no, it's one of these scenes again.
What, a
Oh, I don't
scene
like
where
this
the camera
dialogue.
pans
Yeah,
across
that's
clothes on the
Relax,
ground.
it's gonna be fine. Relax, easy.
like I said, you don't get a lot of scenes like this in Friday the 13th movies. At least the girl's usually into it. It's usually consensual. This is just awkward. Although it is kind of
mean-
funny that he doesn't last.
It doesn't look like she's that upset about it.
He looks annoyed. She does look uncomfortable. Again,
Yep.
may we remind you who wrote this movie?
And it doesn't help that nearly every interaction they have throughout the movie is her telling him no.
No.
And then she
yeah.
finally just gives in.
Yeah, but I mean that's the 80s trope.
Is it?
Yeah, where the girl
It's-
doesn't like the guy and then she ends up giving in at the end. I think I've seen that before.
But it's not usually as rapey
What a fun
as this.
trope.
I mean, I never
Sounds
said
like
it was
how
a
the
good
good old
one.
days.
I never said it was a good one. I just said it was something that has been done in multiple films.
No, yeah,
it
it's just, yeah. Every time we go to the killer's POV, it looks like a shot of a woman in Star Trek.
Leave him alone. Sorgo, he got his eyes are all messed up from the burning. He can't see
Is
too
that
well.
how that works?
What's funny
So he's-
is this also has a little bit of a I know what you did last summer in it.
Mhm.
Except there's no personal connection as far as I can tell between the killer and these teens.
Yes.
Ah. This movie has more man ass than I was expecting.
No, it's
Put
like
that on
really
the box.
outraged.
I am outraged. I don't want to see that.
More
are you showing
man
me?
ass than I expected.
Yeah.
I'm sure you watched Spider-Man many a time and thought, damn, I want to see what that guy's ass looks like.
Well, now
Let's see
next
this
time
guy
you watch
naked.
a Spider-Man, he could go, "Damn, I know what that guy's ass looks like."
I can say that now.
You can't say that.
No, she didn't do anything.
Oh,
Have you
if
seen
only
one of
she
these
wasn't
movies?
deaf.
No, but it's not fair.
And I will say again to give that Raph scene credit, the guy who we were seeing be a jerk and forcing himself on that girl. Like he is the character whose death we relished in the most, so I do kind of
Yeah.
appreciate that.
But then you
So,
got like the
then it's
innocent
kind of
teens there. It's like, well, come on.
the one unfortunate thing about them choosing the shears for this is I've already seen one of the greatest shear kills of all time, even though it's heavily edited, and it's in the fifth Friday movie.
Yeah, that scene is that, but done better. And like I said, this guy. So I guess I could probably say now, this weird guy Alfred. He kind of ends up being our final boy, but he's super underdeveloped, and all I have is he's just a perv who stares at people. Like, but everyone else says he's a prankster, but we never actually do anything with that.
Well, the staring
Again,
at them is the prank. It's just a prank,
I
bro.
guess that's why I said Shelley is that, but done better.
I mean, I've always said,
It's
like, as much as Shelly annoys me, I kind of wish he was the final boy in Friday 3.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It would have been better than the final girl that we got.
I don't even hate her. She's just kind of bland.
I don't like her acting. I don't like the whole subplot with Jason. It's not.
No, I don't like that at all. Get that out of there. But yeah, this is very similar to that Friday 5 scene.
Yeah, but Friday 5 gives me a little more to like imagine.
Mhm.
And just the idea of him driving it through her eyes and then closing it.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's a great kill. That's one of the best. Oh no. Well, at least this guy deserves
God.
it.
Oh my god, he really likes those shears. He's just
It's his thing.
watching. It's just a prank, bro.
That's yeah, it's a prank.
Oh my god.
You know that prank where you go, I just like to watch you guys.
I just like to watch you guys get killed.
I would love it if this was the secret sequel to that movie.
This is what
I
happened
guess
to Denny.
So that's the payoff: is he spies on people and he saw the killer. But it's like, you could have done more with this character. Like, actually make him a prankster and tie it into the opening. Do something. Like, this character's just really underdeveloped.
What was even his prank in the first scene? He was just staring at someone.
Yeah, and what he said was he was gonna scare her. But at this point, I find that questionable.
He's just kind of a perv.
And to the Weinsteins, I guess that makes him the hero.
He's the hero.
Okay.
I'm supposed to like this guy?
I guess.
You don't love the Watcher? Okay. I'm gonna take our game from the Penguin review and apply it over here. Robert, guess that
Okay.
IGN review.
Oh, of this movie?
Yes.
Oh, fuck if I know. Fuck, I don't. I'm gonna say
Did they
6.
do out of 10?
I'm at 6.
No, guess that IGN review.
I'm gonna guess that they hated this movie. Probably say like either. We'll go with 4 out of 10.
Robert got it on the head. They gave it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
never mind.
They reviewed
Oh
it
no.
back when it came out on DVD in like 07.
Oh. That's what I was thinking, because obviously, like most slasher movies, this was panned when it came out, but I don't think IGN was a thing yet in the 80s, so that's what I was thinking. Well, it's probably a more contemporary review, which means it's probably slightly more positive than.
Yeah.
So that's why my brain went to a 6. But I don't know. This is at least a 7 for me. I think this is a pretty good slasher movie.
Yeah, I don't hate it. All right. Now, Robert, guess that Rotten Tomatoes critic score.
Oh, that I doubt is good, because they'll also throw in shit from decades ago. I don't know. I'm gonna say like a 15%.
You are way off.
Okay.
Noah,
your turn.
Noah, your turn.
36 in that range.
No. Robert, do you want to take another guess or give up?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, do you want to
I
take
don't want
another
to play this
guess or
game for
give
that
up?
long. Well, I mean, if Robert doesn't have another guess, then yeah.
With a whopping 13 reviews, it is at a 77%.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay,
okay, that's higher
that
than I
also makes
expected.
sense. But out of only 13, that makes sense.
I'm shocked
So
they
it's just
don't have old
people who like
reviews.
this movie isn't as big as. But and there's Holly Hunter again. She's the girl in the middle in the blue shirt.
Oh,
Uh, and again, how old is her character
crazy.
supposed to be? I don't know
I
because she's
don't
like
even
20 when she did
recognize her. Although I don't think I've seen her in a lot.
I've seen her in a few. Well,
Is
she's
that
in
the
BBS.
senator in BBS? Yeah.
Yeah. She's
And for most of us, she's Mrs. Incredible or Elastigirl. That's
Oh,
like
yeah,
so you'd
That's a
what I'll
recognize her
always associate
voice.
her. Mhm.
No, I've seen her in live action stuff on a lot of things. So.
Yeah, I've seen her in Always and a few other things. She's also in The Big Sick. I like that movie.
I never saw it, but I know she had a TV show back when I was a kid. I think it was
Yeah, I
Saving
think she's had a couple.
Grace,
Hmm.
which lasted way less time than I thought it did, because I've never seen commercials for it constantly. But it only ran for 3 years.
Oh, weird.
That's her one line. Hey, Todd.
Where the hell's the corkscrew?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no. Fisher Stevens isn't looking too good.
Ah!
He could be alive.
No, Holly Hunter's going to be in Star Trek Starfleet Academy
Yeah.
Oh, great.
under Alex Kurtzman.
Yay. I mean, Holly Hunter being in a Star Trek show, that is something I'd be interested in
Raven
otherwise.
asks, which do you prefer, The Burning or Sleepaway Camp? I need to rewatch Sleepaway Camp. On memory, probably Sleepaway Camp.
I mean, like that's tough because I'd say this is probably a technically better directed and acted movie than that. That movie just gets a lot of big points for the weird factor. Like it is more
And it has
memorable.
one of
So
the
I'm
greatest
leaning towards
endings of
Sleepaway
all
Camp, and that
time.
ending's incredible. Yeah, so I'm leaning towards Sleepaway Camp just because, like I said, it's just so weird and bizarre. This is just more of a basic camp slasher movie. A good one, but that movie is just wild. I love this that now they have to use that raft that's just covered in blood, and they're having a
Robert
miserable
Williams
time.
looks like he's about to throw up back there.
Too many cigarettes. You're not lying. This isn't just back to basics. Like, this is a very stripped down, like, this makes Friday the 13th look like there's a lot happening in that movie.
I don't agree
Not
with
the
that.
bad
I
way,
think
but not the bad way. It's just
No, and
That,
see,
I
I
think-
think there's still more happening in this.
Mhm.
I don't know about that.
No, I think
there
there's
was
more.
that-
You get
There was
they
that-
find Crazy Ralph in the pantry. They have to kill
He's
a
fun.
snake.
Oh God.
Yeah, they kill a snake. Whoop de do.
They play
No,
strip
but
Monopoly.
Yeah.
The difference with this though is like, there's Robin Williams again. These characters are all aware what's going on and that they're in danger, and there's different things happening with different people. It's not just walking around and meandering until the last 15 minutes when you have a final goal.
I like offended.
He's
Robert.
finally in on it. No, yeah. I like that movie too.
Draven's Sleepaway Camp is still fun to watch with someone who's never seen, just to see their reaction to the ending.
Yes, I'd
Yes.
love.
No, have
Yeah,
you seen that yet?
No.
Do you know?
Oh
the
my
ending?
God!
I don't think I do.
Oh my god!
Holy shit! I can't believe we didn't spoil it. I feel like
Okay.
everybody just knows that ending.
No,
Maybe I
need
do.
you-
Maybe
I
I do,
need
and I
you to
just
try
don't
to
have
stay as
context.
unspoiled as possible until we get a chance
Okay.
to show you that movie.
erase this conversation
I-
from your brain.
No, I think we've talked about doing it before.
That would be an amazing blind watch. Fuck, we got to do that.
Okay.
When
We'll do it.
we have time, we will do a house and sleepaway camp double feature.
The what the fuck double feature.
Because Robert has not seen it, and I don't think he knows anything about it.
Yeah, that one I haven't seen. Yeah, no, the first time I watched Sleepaway Camp, my friend showed it to me several years ago and had a good time. But even I already knew what the ending was, so I didn't get to be surprised by that. But I still had a fun time watching it.
Maybe I know. I just don't have the context.
I'm not going to tell you in case.
I don't know.
No, and so I also knew about the ending. I inherited from my dad a box set of the DVDs for the first 4. Although 4 isn't really 4, it's finished with archived footage.
Yeah, that was a whole mess.
So I didn't watch the 4th one, but I watched the first 3. I actually I liked the first one, but I found myself enjoying 2 and 3 more.
Yeah, just now, and those I actually haven't watched for myself yet, but I know that they are a lot campier and more overt comedies.
Yeah.
Than the first one.
You got to be the perfect camper, or she's gonna kill you.
Oh, it's campier.
Yeah.
I get it, Robert.
And that's Pamela. I don't know if you know this, Noah. That's Pamela Springsteen.
Who?
Bruce Springsteen's sister.
Oh.
So, I don't know where we are. Did he just find an ancient Aztec temple or something?
Yeah, I'm very. And I like that he's the final boy in terms of everybody else left.
Yes. Yeah, no, they talked out there earlier, like, yeah, Alfred's missing, and somebody's like, fuck him, we're just going. But the counselor guy's still here. He's looking for him.
He's gonna stumble into an underground dungeon where a guy is ripping someone's heart out.
Oh, I wish. We also may have talked over it, but there's a scene where he walks by a rock and Cropsey's standing above him and he doesn't see him. How the fuck did he get there? He fucking teleported.
I have that with a lot of slashers, even when it's not a supernatural thing.
Mm.
Hell, Jason, even before he becomes a zombie, can fucking teleport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Michael Myers can teleport.
Well, I mean, Halloween, the whole Halloween franchise
There's a more supernatural.
Is very inconsistent on how supernatural he's supposed to be. He's the boogeyman, yet he ages like a normal human.
Yeah.
I don't think we've talked about this before. I don't think that's inherently a problem. I mean, we see him when he's 6 years old and supposed to be an adult. I think that's fine.
It's probably a conversation for a Halloween commentary.
That's true.
He's killing me.
Do we have the poll up for the Halloween commentaries, by the way?
No, because I just threw up the poll for which of those retro games we were playing tonight.
Okay.
So I'll do that. I'll do the Halloween one maybe tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't expect Evil Dead to win in such a landslide either.
No, part of me expected more a favor towards Halloween just because it's October.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also think though, and again, I haven't played or really looked at either, but I feel like as that type of game, Evil Dead is just the more obvious choice.
Yeah. It makes more sense.
I did play some of the Halloween one earlier because I knew we were playing Evil Dead tonight. So I will be going to the Evil Dead one blind. It's fun.
Oh, cool.
And I got the DLC, so I can also play as Laurie and Kelly.
I was also thinking, like we just mentioned, we're going to post that poll this weekend for people to vote on what Halloween movie we're going to do a commentary on Halloween night. But on Halloween, besides just the commentary, do you also just want to play that game for a little bit? Sure. Just an idea.
Yeah.
We can also do that another day.
That game is really fun. It's really fucking hard, but it's really fucking fun. Well, at least the Halloween one is. And what's cool is each character plays separate. So I've played as Laurie and I've played as Michael. And Michael's like a slow, tanky guy. And Laurie's like a real fast. Cool. She has the knitting needles for weapons.
Oh, that's fun. So, again, I haven't looked at this at all. Aesthetically, is it just looking at that first movie?
kind of like it's hard to say that because like the characters are, but like the first level is an insane asylum, and there's a
Oh, cool.
demon creature that like summons you.
Oh, that's great.
Oh no.
And the evil. So you said Kelly's a playable character in the Evil Dead game, right? So
Yes, because the
it.
Evil Dead. What? So here's the cool thing. All the Evil Dead stuff is strictly the TV show, but
Oh,
because I
cool.
have both, I can play like Ash in Haddonfield or Michael in Elk Grove. So I could be like Kelly in Halloween, but I don't know anything about the Evil Dead one because, like I said, I haven't touched that. I saved it for tonight.
It is cool that Ash versus Evil Dead has like stuck around like just as a brand,
Yeah,
and we're still getting so much like content or merchandise from it or
yeah.
entertainment, even though
How
that
many
show was
slashes
canceled.
have we seen try to come back and then it doesn't work? So they just, oh, we'll just merchandise the stuff that people like. Army of Darkness,
Yeah,
because they did that for years. The comics are all Army of Darkness.
that's true. There was also rights issues with that because the Army
Yeah,
of Darkness rights are different than the Evil Dead 2 rights. But Ash versus Evil Dead, like there's a lot of Ash versus Evil Dead in that video game that we got a couple years ago.
yeah. I was just glad we also got remake stuff. I didn't think we'd get that.
Mhm.
And they ended support right before Rises. Imagine
Yep.
how cool it would have been to get to play against I don't remember her name, but Maggot Mommy.
Yeah, like she
Maggot
should have been a
Mommy.
boss in that game. Like,
That's the only thing I can
heartbreaking.
think of. I don't know what her name is.
Let's just call her Maggot Mommy.
Okay, this scene is really funny and by far the
Oh.
worst effect in the movie.
Also, mine card. This really is Temple of Doom.
No, now we're no, fuck you. Now we're just in My Bloody Valentine.
But what
Oh
if
my God.
Temple of Doom is better?
It's not.
Oh my god,
Oh,
a
there's
flamethrower!
flamethrower!
Hell yeah!
I was
Okay,
laughing
so
so
now
hard.
I'm questioning if I've even finished this. I don't remember any of this.
Uh, but what I was gonna say was really funny with that effect. So the idea is he falls in that room where he finds the dead body of the missing girl, but I think they just didn't have her to shoot that, so they just
That was just
awkwardly cut to
yeah.
a still shot of her death scene and
Yeah.
just like composited it out and like blacked out all like the trees.
I was gonna say I had no idea what was happening right there.
Seems really
It's like-
funny. And now our
It's like, did he
twist.
just see? He just saw the past? Like what?
Okay,
Also,
so
yeah, we already know all this.
yeah, but the twist is that so our counselor guy was one of the kids who got Cropsey burned. Which is kind of confusing because that was 5 years ago, but he looks like he went from like 14 to 30.
Yeah.
They grow up fast.
It's also just funny because I don't think Cropsey knows or could possibly know that this counselor was one of those kids. So like Cropsey's just killing people randomly. Like he's just a pure psychopath. He doesn't really have a revenge motive. And then it really makes me question that campfire scene when he tells this story where it's like, dude, you did that shit. And that was just 5 years ago. This is kind of in poor taste. Like, I kind of question that.
He told it like an old spooky story when
Yeah,
he was part of that
it's
story.
always tricky.
I think
when
that's a
especially
weird
these
choice.
early '80s slashers tackle stuff like this
Mm-hmm.
because they're not smart enough to do that.
Yeah, like I don't know how to make that better. If it's like maybe 10 years ago, or if he just knew one of those kids and that's the reveal. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird choice. Yeah, like oh, this is the thing he heard about like firsthand.
Because when you do
and I
that,
was telling it
immediately, I no longer feel bad for this guy. You burned somebody alive.
Yeah. And then poor Alfred, he's got his arm pinned by the shears. And I say poor Alfred, he's not particularly like.
So in that Halloween game, you get throwable weapons, and Michael's are pitchforks, so you can like throw pitchforks at people. It was really funny.
And I will say, like a lot of slasher movies from this era, the third act just goes on a little too long. It's a lot of just slow walking around.
Well, it's
We're really
rougher in
padding out that
something
run.
like this, like I said, where the killer doesn't have any kind of presence.
No, but there he is.
Oh my god!
What's wrong with your face?
Hey, it's proto Freddy Krueger.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And
Hey Todd, where the hell's the corkscrew?
Where
I
the
will
hell is
say,
corkscrew?
I don't know how to logistically make a flamethrower versus axe fight work, but this is just kind of awkward. Like, just burn him.
Like, I know
You're supposed
Friday
to
gets a
scare him
lot of
first.
crap for, kind of being watered down and, like, obviously cut to pieces by the MPA, but it really understood what people wanted. So, like, even something like this, which is a little bit gorier, isn't as fun to me because I don't have a killer that I can, like, get invested behind or, root for, and I don't
Oh
really
my
care
god.
about any of the survivors either.
Yeah, well, my problem is the survivors I do care about just kind of go away for the third act, like Jason Alexander. Like I
He
wish he
looks
was
like
one of the final boys here.
he looks like a mixture of Freddy Krueger and a Cenobite.
And I will say, Tom Savini was kind of disappointed in that makeup. He said he just didn't have a lot of time to do it, and wish he had more time to make. But I think Cropsey looks
Of
okay.
course. Yeah, I mean,
He did his best.
like you said
It's
that
not
was in
his
production
best
for a
work.
while. They couldn't have actually started making this until probably a year before.
Yeah, totally.
This was totally rushed out to be like, oh, we're like Friday the 13th. Come see our movie. Wait, you mean there's new Friday the 13th releasing the same time?
Fuck. Oh my god.
Yeah, this doesn't have
Also, what is
Savini's
its
best
score?
work. But
I don't know. It's kind of all over the place.
That is not Savini's best axe to the face.
No, but it's still kind of fun.
He's done better work in stuff like Day of the Dead.
I mean,
I think the Prowler.
that's not
is
even a
one of
fair
the best.
comparison. Like, Day of the Dead is just his masterpiece.
No, I
Well, and that
know.
also had a much bigger budget than this. That was like an actual Hollywood
But just the axe,
big production.
face axe. Not to keep comparing it, but since he's going to directly lift kills from Friday the 13th, the one in that one looks so much better.
This is really like it really mean spirited. Like they just set him on fire for no reason. Like no lessons were learned.
He killed like 15 of their friends. I feel bad for him, but he kind of get what he deserves.
It's just imagine what's going on through his head. Like, oh no,
not
again.
Some people just have a strange idea of
Entertainment. But I love this epilogue, though. This epilogue's great because now this has become a campfire tale, and there's some undisclosed amount of time later, and the story's been passed around and is living on.
The campfire story.
They're back in a void.
Yeah, it's a never-ending cycle.
Do you think Halloween Kills was inspired by this scene?
Michael's gonna kill a bunch of people in this dark void.
You could do a sequel to this nowadays. It's just another campfire story.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead.
Yeah, he broke the fourth wall. I like that epilogue. It's very simple.
I mean, this isn't the worst slasher I've ever seen. I'd watch this again.
That's the biggest compliment. It's not the worst slasher.
Yeah, I think it's all right. It's not like one of my favorites, but I think it's pretty good.
I think it kind of deserves the underrated status just because it was a big failure. But again, put it up against any of the big boys, and it's just sit back down.
I'd say I think this is a better movie than the first Friday the 13th, but that movie does have some great moments for sure.
Friday has better kills, and the last 20 minutes are way better.
I don't know if I like. There are a couple standout kills in that movie, but like the raft scene alone in this is pretty epic. Again, I think this is like a marginally better
good.
movie.
The rap scene is good, but it's also, you can tell, edited to shit.
Oh, I think it's very chaotic
And I think
deliberate.
I
There's a
think
lot of
the
gore.
axe in the face in the first Friday, and then the Kevin Bacon arrow through the throat are way better.
That one's good, and also should be noted that we're specifically talking about the unrated cut of that movie, not because the theatrical one of that was cut down.
I didn't even realize that. I don't think I've actually seen the theatrical cut, at least not like.
I haven't, and you don't need to. It's just like
I don't know why they keep releasing both versions.
Yeah, the unrated cut's usually what you see on a home video, and is the better version. Like the Kevin Bacon kill was very cut down theatrically.
I'm Kevin Bacon.
So Noah, what thoughts? Give us the thoughts. He looks so annoyed. He's like,
it was okay.
It's like, this is the worst thing I've ever had to see.
No, I mean I agree with a lot of what you guys just said. It's not the best slasher I've ever seen. It's just kind of I think it has more likable characters than some of the first like 4 Friday movies, but that's just me. And I think it drags mostly through up to like the beginning of when the kills happen, and then a little bit in the third act. But other than that, I'd say it's fine.
I also think, just again for me, in terms of like acting and cinematography and stuff, like I think this is a better movie than at least the first Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's better made, sure, but
I'd probably put this above like Friday 3, though. I wish this Alfred character was more like Jelly. All right, yeah.
I'd watch this over the first 2, the first 3.
I would watch this over 2.
I'd still put 2 above this one for sure. But also, like 2 like has a couple good kills, but like this is way gorier than Friday 2 because that movie's real cut down.
It is, but I think 2 is a little more imaginative. Like the wheelchair scene is better than anything.
The wheelchair. I mean, I don't know. Like the wheelchair scene's iconic, but again, that rap scene I think is pretty great.
What the hell is happening?
What's happening? Yeah, it's kind of a weird score too.
Yeah, the score, it's very 80s and very all over the place.
Not the person I'd expect to score a movie like this. Because that's Rick Wakeman, the keyboard player for Yes.
Oh, awesome.
I need to listen to more Yes. I know my dad was a big fan. All right, guys, we are going to take a quick maybe 5-minute break. I set the stream about 15 minutes between just to give us some time. But I'm probably going to hop straight in just as soon as I get the game set up. If you guys need to take a break, no, if you want to stick around, we'd love to have you. We're going to play that Retro Realms Evil Dead. If you can't stick around, that's more than fine. I'm just extending an invitation. We'll be back in 5-ish minutes. Oh, well, that's fine.